Guys, get the observer link out there. There we go. Get that started up for myself as well. Go and get to the right one, and there we go. Gonna get the Twitch chat up. Got 19 viewers as of right now. Though I'd say MII drafts Lunara almost every game. So I mean, I don't know if they have a. They seem to have actually pretty predictable drafts themselves. They seem to like the MII really likes seeing the double support, single tank comps, single frontliner comps. Actually, should I say? Get the music turned down a bit. There we go. Sorry about that. And there we go. Waiting on FSU Crab Legs to get readied up, and then we'll be getting on the road between these two teams. Elysian eSports is going to be on the left, and we have FSU Crab Legs on the right. And we're playing on Sky Temple here today for these two teams. Sky Temple, of course, really favors that global presence between the heroes, especially when we talk about something like the something like a Dahaka, a Brightwing. We actually just casted the Sky Temple game, and on that map we did see both Falstad and Brightwing being picked up by one of the teams, and I would not be surprised to see sort of a similar draft for these two teams, that global presence on the map with maybe a Dahaka as well. So going into it, we do see Elysian eSports on that first pick as the home team here, and they will in fact ban that global presence again, already so very important on that Falstad. So FSU Crab Legs now has to decide whether or not they want to ban Illidan or ban Kael'thas. Either one, very strong heroes, and both of them can really do some damage to their team. So hopefully they can figure out which one they don't want to deal with, and Elysian eSports will probably pick up the other one. Maybe not a first pick Illidan. He is a little easier to counter at our level, but of course, in the pro scene, you definitely see a first pick Illidan, and he will in fact ban neither, which is the correct solution to do there, which I completely agree with. So Elysian eSports now picks up either Kael'thas or Illidan, and then now FSU Crab Legs either picks up Kael'thas or Illidan, depending on which one they do not pick up. And the Kael'thas is picked up, so we do see a Kael'thas for Elysian eSports. This is the first time I've actually casted a Kael'thas ever, seeing as nobody ever takes him. So we do see the Thrall in the Li Ming already coming out for FSU Crab Legs, so not favoring that Sonya, probably to get that presence there in the bottom lane. That solo laner with that Thrall, the Chain Lightning build will definitely come into play. And so we'll see that Thrall probably in the bot lane, focusing on that solo laner as well as that Li Ming. So Elysian eSports probably wants to pick up like a Zagara or something to try to counter that Thrall. Otherwise, they're going to have a very hard time keeping only one person down there against that Thrall. As well, the Rhaegar is available, which is an extremely strong healer in the meta right now, about 54% win rate. And also, as well, you do have, there's the Rhaegar, as I mentioned, as well as I'd probably pick up the Sonya here. The Sonya is available to them. She's the only other bruiser besides Illidan, and maybe they may go Illidan, don't be wrong. But I think they either need, if they're not going Illidan or Sonya right here, I think FSU Crab Legs needs to ban the other one. And so we definitely need to see one more pickup here from them going into their time pool now, and they're going to see what to pick up here. They have the range damage for their team. They can in fact just have Kael'thas only as their entire range damage for their team. I've seen definitely a lot of double tank, double support with Kael'thas in the pro scene. So we could probably see that as well, and we do see the Murden pick up for Elysian eSports. Something to keep in mind is that Murden is extremely strong right now, probably one of the best tanks in the game. He does have that new build with the healing static into Give Him the Axe at 16, and so we may see that coming out for Elysian eSports. Although on the FSU Crab Legs, they do have the Thrall, they do have the Li Ming, and so I wouldn't be surprised to see one of the two remaining bruisers banned, either being actually one of the three, excuse me. You have Greymane, Illidan, and Sonya all on the table there for Elysian eSports, as well as they already have the Rhaegar and the Murden, so they can definitely enable one of those three bruisers very well. And so let's see what they pick up here. I don't know. I don't know what kind of ban they're going for. They definitely don't ban support, and they will in fact ban those one of those three bruisers, as I talked about earlier with that Sonya. Thing is, though, about if Elysian eSports picks up that Illidan, is that FSU Crab Legs does have Uther available to them. And so I'd probably see an Uther ban being the best ban here for Elysian eSports. It gets rid of the other meta healer and as well as removes a hard Illidan counter. You can also see like a Brightwing ban, but Brightwing's not even that good and cannot take Cleanse. And so Cleanse is a big part of this matchup here. If you can't take Cleanse, you're gonna not be able to stop gravity lapses or Muradin Qs. And not being able to take Cleanse is a pretty big issue. So I definitely think the Uther ban here is going to be warranted here for Elysian eSports. Need to have that Cleanse available, and the Uther ban is in fact going to be what they do. So again, we have a 60-second delay on the stream, so hopefully they don't. So hopefully I'm just calling this out, but so the Uther ban with Thrall and Leeming, I mean, I want to see probably a tank pickup here. You can see a lot of different options, but also as well, I don't want to see an Illidan. I've never seen Bruiser plus Illidan ever work in my entire life, and I don't think today's going to be the start of that. Already still waiting on that pickup from FSU Crab Legs. I mean, a tank, you can see a support here. Again, no Uther available to them, and you know that Elysian eSports are egging to pick that Illidan, so they have to pick a hero that counters that Illidan. Maybe they can go for a bit more, laning approach with that Zagara and the Thrall being picked up now. They have two heroes that are extremely strong at that laning game, especially in the early game. No, actually, Asmodean. This is one of Asmodean's best maps. Actually, I mean, It's not his best. It's his third best map behind Dragonshire and Tomb. You can do the top two lanes really easily. So Asmodean's actually still really good, but we probably won't see him because we don't have a healer available for FSU Crab Legs or a tank. So they can't go Johanna Asmodean, for example. Like that's definitely not an option. So you do see the Johanna though, so they are saving that healer for last, which I actually do agree with. As I always talk about, Johanna has no engaged potential, but however, they do have that Thrall with the Sundering, so they are completely fine on the engaged potential, and they'll be good to go. So they're going to pick up the healer reactively to whatever Elysian eSports picks up. Maybe a Brightwing pickup if Elysian eSports, in fact, goes for that Illidan. If I was drafting for Elysian eSports right now, I would pick up Illidan Tassadar, but... let's see what they pick up here. They have the Rhaegar Kael'thas and the Muradin, so I would not be surprised again that Illidan or a Tassadar for them, especially with the no false stat available. You cannot really stop the engagement of Elysian eSports. In fact, they are not picking up the Tassadar. They're picking up the Sylvanas. So it's actually very low chance here we're actually going to see an Illidan because there's no diving buddy for Illidan in this comp right now. He has no diving buddy at all or double support. He needs one or the other. And it looks like right now there is neither for Elysian eSports. So we may see, I don't know, Greymane? That'd be triple range though, which I don't really agree with. I could see like a Tyrael. Yeah, Tyrael. Tyrael it is, wow. I'm freaking calling everything today. That's amazing. Anyway, so for the healer here, you don't really need to pick up the Brightwing. I'd say a Kharazim's perfect. You're going to be able to keep that Thrall alive with Divine Palm. Make sure you don't die too bad. But it's going to be that Soul Brightwing. I think it's okay. But the thing is about that Soul Brightwing, it's going to be very low sustain in comparison to how that Rhaegar plays out. And the thing is, though, that global presence is really, really strong on this map because of how well she can push those lanes and join her team in the middle of fights. So I do like the Brightwing pickup on the map. Like if there was if there was a map to do it on, is definitely this one.
Glory to the Horde.
So it looks like that Tyrael, the double tank setup for. Alrighty, so looks like we get both teams readied up here. Man, it is. I'm waiting for Elysian eSports as well as FSU Crab Legs. Alrighty, guys. 5 out of 10 players ready. Actually, we might be missing somebody. Oh, he's just not picking any hero. I don't like the Tyrande Tassadar. The thing is that I still disagree with. We have no cleanse available on the side of FSU Crab Legs, which I think is actually a pretty big mistake, honestly. Go and get the names popped up here. There we go. Got two more people to ready up. One more Disloterial readying up. Alrighty, guys. Looks like we can finally start it up. Alrighty. So again, looking at the side, the only thing I dislike about, I like FSU Crab Legs draft. They have great anti-dive potential with that Zagara Maw as well as the Sundering. But the only thing I disagree with on their side is the lack of cleanse. Again, we do see the Kael'thas available as well as the Muradin. So you do see that really strong stun combination available to them. And the thing is that they do not have any way of stopping it. Like, people might say to me, oh yeah, Brightwing can take cleanse. But the thing is that Brightwing can't take cleanse. So the thing is, it's like old Karazim, right? Like, where old Karazim couldn't take cleanse because it would hurt his healing potential so much that it's not worth sacrificing the healing potential for that utility. But besides that, I think both teams have a very strong draft, but I have to give it to Elysian eSports on this one right here. Alrighty, guys, looking at the teams for today, we have Tigray on Muradin, Selfurious on Tyrael, Convictions on Sylvanas, Hope for Kael'thas, and Frankie on Rhaegar. And that's all for Elysian eSports. On the right side of the map, in the red trunks for FSU Crab Legs, we have Tall and Nasty on the Zagara, Slambo on Johanna, Shambulance on Li Ming, Phelps on Thrall, and Deathclaw on that Brightwing. Taking a look at the talent selections real quick, we do see really standard talents here. The Power Hungry and Li Ming, I guess, is maybe not the most obvious talent choice, but the thing is also we do see the totem build for Rhaegar. Usually don't see it too much anymore. We usually do see that Wolf Run build into the Feral Heart. But with all the damage on the side of FSU Crab Legs, he may opt to go for the Spirit Walker's Grace into Tidal Waves combination, which usually you don't want to go into. If you do that, then you most likely do not want to go for the Wolf Run at 1. Anyway, also we do see the Regeneration Master for Tyrael, so no damage on his Smite being taken. That's actually kind of interesting in that double tank setup. And the only other thing is the Paralysis for Sylvanas, so she's going to get a little bit more push potential out of that, or maybe try to take some Mercs. Usually we do see the Q talent there, or the Paralysis, and they're both kind of telling which playstyle she wants to get. Thing is, as you can tell, we have a tri-lane bot against the Zagara, and we have a triple lane mid with nobody there. The thing is, they have to do this rotation here for Elysian eSports because of their poor laning in comparison to the absolutely fantastic laning of FSU Crab Legs. That's one thing that FSU Crab Legs wins hands down, is that laning battle. They do have some amazing laning heroes between that Thrall, between the Zagara, and even like Brightwing and Johanna are very strong laners, so they definitely will win the lanes, but the team fight, I think, may be a little bit different story. Alrighty, now we have the two temples starting up at that minute 30 mark. We're going to see the red team taking the vision here. It looks like we're going to see a little bit of a scrim here in the middle lane. But again, that Brightwing is going to have a little harder time healing up those healing up that damage, and we will see them start to take the shots onto this temple. Top temple still uncontested right now, but it looks like Elysian eSports opting to go top, and honestly, I agree with it because of the Kael'thas as well as the Tyrael are very, and as well as the Sylvanas are all late game heroes that really get a lot of their value later. And the thing is that they need to first, get those talents and become better heroes, and so they're gonna go up to the top. Simply secure that, especially when you talk about something like Zagara, who has some of the best, some of the best early game in the game. You really don't want to mess with that, and that's where you do see them just trying to trade temples and keep themselves alive in this early game. Alrighty, we're going to see actually the red team, FSU Crab Legs, coming onto this temple. Let's see what they do here. They're going to try to polymorph Muradin, trying to get him off that temple. He's taking a lot of damage. He may have the door tossed out. There it is. He will get out. But it looks like they will secure the remaining shots, assuming they don't lose anybody. And looks like Slambo going to spread the bomb over the Shambulance. They will, in fact, get out of there and take the last remaining shots of that temple. Cigar the entire time right now is on that bot lane, split pushing Deathclaw, getting spread the bombs again by Slambo, and he will go down because of it. Again, he does not have that escape potential a lot of other heroes have. He only has 100% movement speed, and other heroes can easily move out of the way. Only the level 4 talent selection, again, nothing here to really talk about. Although we do see the Feral Heart and Johanna going down there on the top lane. But the only thing to talk about here maybe is the Feral Heart. Again, usually we do see the Feral Heart. We usually do see the Wolf run at 1. Although, personally, I do like the Totem a lot, don't get me wrong. And then as well, we do see the Dominance for Li Ming, which I normally would say that's kind of, I mean, I think there's better talent selections, right? But, like, thing is, with a solo Uther or a solo Brightwing, with that poor healing output, we do see the Dominance. Again, keeping yourself alive a bit better. Alrighty, so now looking towards the bottom lane, we're going to see them try to, again, poise up towards this bottom lane, get as much experience as possible, and we're going to see them hopefully try to get the enemy well down. That's really what we're going to be looking at here, making sure you get your enemy well down and doing as best as you can. We're going to go and lower the bitrate for you guys. Sorry for this poor casting for a few seconds, just lowering it down to 3,000 kilobits per second. And so now it looks like both teams securing. That's where the paralysis of Sylvanas really comes in, making sure that she can take those Siege Giants by herself. And they will, in fact, secure both those Siege Giants for both teams. So Tall and Nasty, though, going to be able to bully his way on this bottom lane, though. It looks like towards the top lane, we do see the Thrall and the Li Ming taking this camp, as well as we do see Sylvanas and Tyrael doing the same. And it looks like Tall and Nasty are going to easily dispatch of these Siege Giants, and they will, in fact, go for the wall here. So now the Temple is about to spawn, looking at the talents yet again. Again, we do. The only thing is the Sunfire Enchantment, very interesting talent. So you may be going Sun King's Fury at 16 to complete that auto attack build. Bright Peekaboo coming out from Brightwing. He's going to have to heal a lot of this poke damage coming out from the side of Elysian eSports. As well as we do see the Angelic Momentum still for Tyrael, as well as we do see the Cleanse for Rhaegar, something that Brightwing cannot take as she had to take Face Shield towards the middle. We do see Slambo taking a lot of damage on that Johanna, spreading the bombs over to a few of his teammates. And we do see the blue team securing the temple right now. And we're going to see the red team, FSU Crab Legs, going in here, going in against that Kel'Thas. This really tight corridors is really going to make it easy for those chain bombs to spread. Phelps right now has to make sure he does not spread it to his teammates. The poke damage from Tall and Nasty doing a lot to the side of Elysian eSports. You saw all of them are very, very low. We have Tyrael and Murden all both low, and they will in fact get out. And they will secure the remaining shots of this temple. Issa, you're supposed to cast with me, man. Why aren't you here? Anyway, we're going to see them moving up towards the top on Elysian eSports, making sure they secure as much experience as possible. Both bruiser camps pretty much canceled each other out, so it didn't really matter about those bruiser camps. So we did see this front wall going down earlier from that temple. Already Tall and Nasty going Hearth back here. We do have the level 10 heroic abilities available. And again, I keep saying this, but no surprises at all. We do see the Devouring Maw, Blessed Shield, Disintegrate, and the Sundering, as well as the Blink Heal for Brightwing. And no surprises here either with the Wailing Arrow, Phoenix, Sanctification Avatar, and the Ancestral Healing. So straight, no nonsense, and no nonsense on the heroic abilities. And now we're going to see them have a little bit of skirmish here. 2 kills to 0, by the way, on the side of Elysian eSports. Although it looks like FSU Crab Legs have been doing well in these fights and poking down the side of Elysian eSports. They've never been able to really secure a kill. And so I think the heroic ability of that Sundering, and we talked about engage potential, and they really don't have that until they hit that heroic ability. Now they have that Sundering, they can take a fight whenever they want it and make sure that Elysian eSports stays in. Anyway, towards the top, we do see them pushing down this fort. It looks like Elysian eSports is going to come up here and try to engage, although it looks like they're already out. And again, Cigar with that creep making sure her team has great vision over the map. She did, in fact, take that endless creep at 7, so making sure she gets maximum vision for her team. And the only thing is she will not get the lane sustain or the the team fighting advantage as rapid incubation or the I forgot what it's called. It's her new form element. Anyway, we have the engage from Slambo onto 4. We do see the silencing arrow coming out, sundering, hitting most of the team. Sanctification, Phelps going down as well. There's no... Oh, the Brightwing going to secure it with that face shield. Phelps barely staying alive. Ancestral healing hitting Deathclaw. Again, with that very slow movement speed on his Brightwing, cannot make it out. And it looks like they will, in fact, go down. Now it's 3 kills to 0 here for Elysian eSports, and the temples are in fact up. Looks like they're going to secure both the top and bottom temple. Tyrael has a great escape as well as that Murden towards the bottom lane. And it looks like that's where the action will be. FSU Crab Legs grabbing this bottom temple, making sure they do as much damage as they can in the situation. Both teams at that level 12 talent, or level 12 tier, so no talent advantage for either team. And looks like they're just going to invade here on this siege camp for the side of FSU Crab Legs. You see this flank from Zagara onto Soliferous, and let's see if they can grab this kill. Oh man, Shambulance and Zagara on that tall and nasty taking a lot of damage. They need to make sure not to take too much more damage in this fight. Shambulance very low. That Murden can take her out single-handedly. All that face shield from Brightwing is going to give her a ton of health back. Oh man, Soliferous taking that damage instead of Tigray. That's a good body block there by him, making sure that... Oh, Magneto's level 3 super? Yo, dude, does somebody understand Marvel? Man, I can't... Dude, FGC hype. Anyway, we see them taking out these Sea Giants towards the bottom lane. They did, in fact, know that they did do a lot of damage to the side of Elysian eSports, so they're going to grab those Sea Giants and move on with their life. So looking at structures right now, we do see all forts down for the side of Elysian eSports. Although Zagara in a bad position here. She's getting healed by Brightwing as best as she can. Ma coming out onto 2. Johanna taking a lot of damage, spreading the chain bomb to herself. And that's going to do a ton of damage to the entire side of FSU Crab Legs. The Elite eSports full on health now. Slambo in the front line. Going to get his back retreat here. But man, Phelps eating that chain bomb from him. And the boss is aggroed and will take out Thrall by himself. Now they're just going to go ahead and do boss here, though, although they are extremely low themselves. Let's take a look at the talent selections here. We do see the Earth Shield from Rhaegar, as well as the Imposing Will, Burning Rage, and the Pyromaniac from Kael'thas. No Fission Bomb or Backdraft for Kael'thas. As well as we do see the Burning Rage for Johanna, Mutilis, Seal Dust, very standard talents. Burn to Cinder, Chaotic Flame. Anyway, we do see them taking the Bruisers up here towards the top. And it looks like they're going to grab the camp up there, as well as we do see the side of Elysian eSports grabbing their camp as well. It looks like towards the boss, we do see Tall and Nasty putting down some creep, making sure that Elysian eSports is not going to do too much. And now we're going to see them hopefully rotate towards the bottom lane for this temple. It's a single bottom temple. These Bruisers aren't going to do much, as we do see both Bruisers, so it looks like FSU Crab Legs is going to trade that Bruiser priority for the temple here towards the bottom lane. Looks like they're going to try to engage onto the side of Elysian eSports early. Look at this positioning, very, very aggressive. So as soon as we see these 3 members move past them, it looks like they're going to engage on Tyrael. Maybe not the best target. He is polymorph. He will pop Sanctification very soon. Although Sunray coming out. Soliferous going deep in the back line. He cannot pop Sanct. He did not pop Sanct. No Sanct coming out from Tyrael. He waited so long to pop it that he never got a chance to use it, and will in fact be the first kill for FSU Crab Legs. And now they're going to go head towards the bottom lane here. Slambo on that Johanna, going to secure these shots. And it looks like Brightwing finally teleporting in. Going to get some vision for a team as well as those extra heals. And now they can actually go for a boss play here if they ever felt like it. But Tyrael's going to be up in 14 seconds. And looks like they are in fact not going to do that. Looks like they instead secure these Siege Giants for the side of FSU Crab Legs. Although they will, looks like they are engaging. Ma is not up. She did dismiss though. Tigray hitting two with the stun. Tall and Nasty in a very, very bad position right here. Phelps as well. He will, in fact, go down. Yes, the Flame Strike will secure it. Deathclaw using that juke. We did see Sylvanas go down. I'm not quite sure where. I didn't quite catch that kill. Sorry, guys. I mean, no, it's weird. Anyway, we're going to see that Bruiser camp for the side of FSU Crab Legs again with that Bright Wing, with that global presence, really able to push those lanes in. And now we see towards the bottom lane, the Siege camp being contested over. It's a 4v4 fight. No Zagara on the side of FSU Crab Legs. Sanctification now being used, and Phelps is going to have a hard time staying alive here. It looks like he's going to dive deep in the backline here. Nothing too bad, but we do see the health bars of Elysian eSports very low. Looking at level 16 talent selections here. Wow, heavy impact for Muradin. I have not seen that talent in a long time. That is going to be a very interesting talent. The Holy Ground for Tyrael, hopefully for those boss steals. Tigray going to take a lot of damage though here. Is he going to die? He may die. No mana for Dwarf Toss. I don't think he can cast it. Yeah, and the Chain Lightning will secure it right before the Orb would. And we do see the Cold Embrace, the Sun King's Fury Earthgrass Totem, Mirror Ball for Li Ming, Bouncy Dust, very standard talents. Besides, again, that heavy impact for Muradin, going for that extra stun potential, and they will in fact go boss here. Looks like FSU Crab Legs grabbing that boss, and there's not a whole lot Elysian eSports can do just yet. Yeah, especially since that Tyrael is not fast enough on, for that Holy Ground Sanctification combo. Blasted Shield missing completely. Phelps does not have Sundering up for another 5 seconds. He cannot engage. See, this is what I mean. No engage potential without that Sundering. Simply put, Elysian eSports simply moved away from FSU Crab Legs and unable to take that fight. Anyway, Temples have finally spawned. Boss towards the bottom lane going to secure FSU Crab Legs a lot of time on these temples, and they should in fact grab both these temples if they can. But it looks like looks like Tall and Nasty moving towards the top lane with those minions of his. He can spawn those Zerglings, of course, and just make sure he takes as little damage as possible while securing this temple. Although we do see the side of Elysian eSports moving up towards the middle lane. Slambo, Phelps, and Shambulance all moving away, making sure they're not going to take too much damage. Holy Ground did miss from Sliferous. He needs to make sure he gets a little bit farther away to get that Holy Ground to hit. And it looks like they will, in fact, trade temples yet again. This is much better here for Elysian eSports, though. I kind of disagree with the temple trade, and that's exactly what they disagree with, too. Elysian eSports coming up towards the top lanes. Shambulance in a bad position, instantly teleporting out. Slambo out of position as well on that Johanna. They're going to have Tigray in the backline, harassing both Deathclaw, Tall and Nasty, and Shambulance. And Maw only hitting one. And the Slambo now getting the face shield from Brightwing. Sanctification coming out. They need to get a kill here, and it looks like they will. Ancestral Healing will hit. Slambo, half-life, no mana. We do see Tall and Nasty taking that Chain Bomb spread from Slambo, and they will, in fact, try to back off here with that solo Brightwing. It's very hard to stay alive in these long, sustained fights, and you can tell that by the health bars on the side of FSU Crab Legs. Kael'thas with that amazing amount of damage output can really do a lot in these fights. And it looks like we can go and take a look at the hero damage real quick. We do see Kael'thas with 49,000 hero damage, as much as Li Ming right now. Although we do see Muradin diving in deep, Shambulance keeping him back with the Disintegrate. And it looks like they will, in fact, be two deathless. Wow, that was just a lot of nothing happening in terms of using a bunch of heroic abilities and everything. And I didn't play StarCraft, Issa. Zerglings, Banelings, whatever, man. Anyway, moving towards both sides, we do have the Bruisers taken for both teams. Although, again, we do see a significant structural advantage for the side of Elysian eSports. We do see, we do see 2 keeps up for them, but on the side of FSU Crab Legs, all walls are up. And the thing is, if they just secure the last few hit points on this fort, it's down to, or the keep, it's down to just a few hundred hit points, and they will be able to secure that. Go and unselect it real quick. Sorry, guys. There we go. Anyway, moving towards the middle lane here. We do see a bit of a brawl towards the boss. It's up for not another 2 minutes. Slambo getting hit by the Holy Ground combo. Tyrael polymorphed. He needs a pop sanctification for just himself. Li Ming entire Disintegrate was nullified by that sanctification. Looks like convictions on that Sylvanas. Yeah, it had to be taken out by that the Sundering really put her out of position. And it looks like Tigray on that Murden will go down. They have 2 members on the side of Elysian eSports down. And what will they do? They have no boss available. They have a Bruiser Can pushing towards the top. There's a Siege Can towards the bottom lane. I just say push at least a couple of these structures. It looks like that's in fact what will they do. What they will do, excuse me. They will grab this keep. No big problem. Only 700 hit points. And it looks like they will, in fact, go for a core play here. The Siege Giant towards the bottom lane doing a lot of damage, actually, to Slifris, and he will go down. That is 3 members on the side of Elysian eSports down. 83% on the core for FSU Crab Legs. It looks like that will be the game. Yes, it will be. Moss securing Rhaegar. And that will be it. FSU Crab Legs securing the game over their opponents, Elysian eSports, on that level 20 talent. Wow, that was a good game between these 2 teams. And we'll talk about exactly what happened in that game between Elysian eSports and FSU Crab Legs. So the Tyrael pickup, I agree with. The thing is about the Tyrael pickup is that you do, in fact, have only 2 damage dealers on your entire side, which is okay. That's fine. But the thing is, though, is that we do see Tyrael with a very low amount of damage output is because he went full tank build as well. He went the Regeneration Master, the Amplified Healing, etc., etc. He did go full tank build. And we never saw a Holy Ground really do anything, right? So I think what needed to happen, I think he should have went Burning Rage here. I usually dislike Burning Rage significantly, but I think the Burning Rage would help his damage output a lot. Because, I mean, honestly, they didn't have enough damage, it seemed like, in those team fights. Kael'thas put out a amazing amount of damage in those team fights, 59,000 damage. But other than that, really nobody else put out any hero damage at all on the side of Elysian eSports. So really, I think what should have happened is you maybe pick up a couple of those talents, especially towards 1 and 4. Instead of going for the Regeneration Matter, Amplified Healing, maybe go for the 2 Smite talents, and then go for the Angelic Momentum at 7. That maybe, especially the Sanctification, he should have enough survivability in those fights. Especially with the Ancestral Healing, it had to be used on Muradin most of the time, surprisingly enough. He went for some pretty aggressive talenting, especially when you talk about the level 13 and level 16. Usually one of Muradin's best talents now is that healing static at 13, and he took Burning Rage, and then also he took Heavy Impact instead of Stone Form. So we did not see any healing talents for Muradin, and then Rhaegar had to use Ancestral Healing onto Muradin a lot of the times. And I think maybe sacrificing some of that aggressive talenting for that survivability may have helped some other heroes that could do damage stay alive a bit longer. Other than that, really, you look at the side of FSU Crab Legs, he did have that soul support Brightwing. I always talk about how her healing numbers aren't real. I mean, she does have 51,000 healing. I'm not saying that Deathclaw did not do a great job on his Brightwing. He probably, he definitely did. He had some great face shields. He had some fantastic positioning, but I'm not going to tell you that 51,000 was actually her healing. It's like a Karazim, right? Like you get a lot of free healing for doing nothing, and so it was probably like 40 to 80,000, I'd say. 40,000 on the side of Deathclaw, and we saw 80,000 on the side of Rhaegar. So Rhaegar out-healed Brightwing by a factor of 2, right? So the thing is, they still lost a lot of these fights, especially, especially since we did see the Rhaegar out-healed by a factor of 2. You would think, you would think that it would be able to win these fights, but with a double tank in comparison to the single tank plus 3 damage dealers, they really didn't make sure to do as much damage as they could with those heroes. Maybe focusing a bit better onto targets because they were a bit low on damage with the Sylvanas Kael'thas, and so I maybe would like to see maybe another range damage dealer, should I say dedicated assassin instead of Sylvanas. It's a little bit easier to play with. I mean, don't be wrong, this is a perfect comp. I really like it. It's just, it's very hard to play because of how little damage they have. And that's a very, pro team thing to do is go for that little amount of damage. As well as, we're going to see, towards the right side on FSU Crab Legs, we do see the, we do see the Zagara and that Thrall, very strong lane bullies, really good early game comp, and they really played it well. They seem to kind of bully Elysian eSports around a lot, and they really made sure that they really didn't get too much. By the time that Elysian eSports got to start, I mean, yeah, they actually died more than Elysian eSports in the early game, but in the end, it seemed like FSU Crab Legs took those objectives and really got a lot done when it came to those temples. As well as you look at the damage numbers, man. Like, damage numbers, I know they don't mean much, but they mean something, right? Like, you look at the damage numbers, you have 20,000 here for the 3 damage dealers here. You have 59,000 on Kael'thas, right? And then you look at the side of FSU Crab Legs, you see 48, you see 58, you see 59. When you see that amount of damage coming out from FSU Crab Legs, I really think maybe instead of maybe double support, maybe instead of double tank or something like that. Because the thing is, they didn't do enough damage and they didn't stay alive long enough. Because the thing is, the Murden had to receive the ancestral healing a lot of those fights. I think that was a big mistake. I think he should have went to a little bit more defensive talenting, especially at one of these 2 talent tiers. And I think that would have secured the ancestral healing. For example, in that last fight, Sylvanas was caught out of position, not really caught out of position, that's kind of unfair to say. She was sundered out of position. That's actually a lot more correct. And then she was sundered out of position, and then they just took her out. Instead of Rhaegar being able to ancestral the Sylvanas and keep her alive, he had to ancestral, I think it was Murden or Tyrael, I can't remember, but I'm pretty sure it was one of the 2 tanks. So instead of that, I'd rather see him be able to use that ancestral healing on other targets, a little bit more, what's the word I'm looking for? A little bit more viable or more important targets. As important as Tyrael or Murden are, they're not very important if your backline is dead. And I think that's the reason why those very big CC heroics like Zagara Ma, and although we didn't really see too many great Ma's, to be honest, and we did see the Thrall Sundering come out a lot of times in those fights, putting people out of position, really separating those teams out. I really agree that they really had the better team fight composition with those fantastic heroics. The thing is about Tyrael, he never, again, we saw that one fight where Tyrael never used Sanctification, and he just kind of died outright, which, again, I don't really agree with. If they ever need to engage, they just need to engage, right? Like, they just need to dwarf toss in with Murden or whatever it may be, but they need to take the engages when they're good for them and take it hard. Because the thing is, they never really, I want to say they never really jumped in and really went in for the kill. And that's, I think, a big mistake. Especially with that Tyrael, you really need to be aggressive and you really need to make sure you're getting as many picks as possible. Diving into the back line, trying to kill Shambulance or Tall and Nasty. Instead, we did see a lot of pressure on the Thrall, but when it comes to a Tyrael comp, Tyrael's almost just as squishy as Thrall is. So, I mean, and Thrall does like 3 times the damage. So what Tyrael needs to do is get to the back line where he can pop his ultimate. And then allow, Kael'thas to get in there, Rhaegar to get in there, and really, get the damage onto the back line. But instead, we saw him pop Sanctification, usually towards the front line of FSU Crab Legs, and not really be able to dive onto that back line. But anyway, that's all the thoughts I had for that match. Again, I think a little bit more aggressive Tyrael. I think Murden taking a bit better talents. 13 and 16. I think Rhaegar played fine. He did great. And on the side of FSU Crab Legs, great draft. And I think that's what secured it with that global presence of right wing, as well as the Zagara and Thrall huge CC heroics. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. You can catch the VOD here on my channel here at twitch.tv/fireteam, or you can watch any matches other that I cast. I can follow me up there, actually over there at XER Fireteam, and you can watch any. I always announce any game I ever cast, and you can watch me cast live, just like you are now. Anyway, guys, thank you all for watching this Division 2 cheerleague match between Elysian eSports and FSU Crab Legs. Again, follow me on Twitter, and as always, thank you for watching, and again,